Jerusalem. The noise was deafening, the chaos frenzy, the anticipation mounting.
Can you see him, Papa?
Not yet, Shari. Not yet.
The crowds were thicker this year, more than ever before, for him. He was coming to town, and they were on the walls, hanging from the rooftops, all with the hope of catching one glimpse of Jesus.
Papa?
Soon, my darling.
They ravaged the trees of their branches,
He will be here soon,
covered the dirt roads with their cloaks,
and we will see him again.
all to honor Jesus.
Again. I long to see him again. To have my Shari see him. I'm usually in Jerusalem for the Passover, but when I heard Jesus was heading this way, there was no doubt. I knew I must come. To again see the one who gave me back my little girl. The one who, when I approached him like a stranger, tear-stained, begging for him to come see my dying child, said I will come, without hesitation. So much love in his eyes. I joyfully wait for him to come. I waited for him then too. Waited for him to follow, to hurry, and heal my sick little girl. But the crowd slowed him down. I remember a woman touching his robes and begging to be healed. And he stopped to help her. He stopped. My child was dying, and yet he stopped. I often think back to that moment, the agony of waiting as the seconds stretched out. I wonder if he did it on purpose, so that my child would be dead when we arrived. Not to be cruel, but just to change me, to change all of us, all the more. Because when we finally arrived on my doorstep, it was too late. She was dead. But death meant nothing to him. She's just asleep, he said. Little girl, get up. And that changed everything.
This man Jairus was changed.
I am one of so many people.
Like the leprous man who hadn't been touched in 10 years.
Thousands of people
Like the thirsty Samaritan woman.
who wait for him.
Like the whore who had decided she was not worth loving.
Because he changed us forever. There he is. He's riding on a donkey?
A donkey?
I know, a donkey. It doesn't make any sense, right? He should be riding a stallion or a chariot. But you know, last night Jesus said to me, Peter, go take one of the others with you and go get me a donkey. So that's what I did.
You're one of his disciples.
Yes, I am.
Jesus!
Today, I could only stand back and watch. Just amazed. You know, you think you spent 3 years with the guy, you think you got him all figured out, right? Not a chance. But to be honest with you, my head is spinning like non-stop. The things I've seen these last 3 years. Just take last week alone. The other day we go up to Bethany to mourn our friend Lazarus. We go to the tomb, and he's dead. And Jesus just cries. You know, and I finally think this is it. There is nothing he can do about it. But not Jesus. He tells them to roll the stone away from the tomb. What a bad idea, and everyone says so. I mean, Lazarus has been in there 3 days. You know, Jesus said, I told you, if you believe, you will see the glory of God. Hard to argue with that, right? So they do what he says, and they roll the stone away. And Jesus stands there and says, Lazarus, come out. And out he comes. I mean, the guy's like dragging his burial wrappings and everything, like no big deal. I mean, it is incredible. And then just the other day, we're having dinner in Bethany, and Mary, Sarah, and Martha, and of course Lazarus, the ex-corpse. You know, Mary comes in and pours a bottle of perfume on Jesus' feet. I mean, the real expensive kind, you know? And then she begins to wash his feet with her hair. I mean, it's kind of a beautiful thing, really. I mean, her way of praising Jesus and thanking him for bringing his brother back. But Judas gets all upset, calling it a waste, saying that we should have sold the perfume and given the money to the poor. But you know, Jesus said that it was intended for her to save this perfume for my burial. His burial? I have no idea what he's talking about. But you know, that's my life with Jesus. One minute you think you know exactly what he's talking about, and the next he says something like, the Son of Man must be poured out for many. And I'm left like super confused. And is it me? It must be me. Now there's only two things that I know for certain. That he is the Son of God. And I love him. The rest, I'm willing to figure out as we go. So when he says, go get me a donkey, I get him a donkey. Jerusalem. You know, aside from the donkey, it is quite a moment. You talk about making your entrance. I just can't wait to see what happens this week. This week, something amazing is going to happen. I can feel it in my bones.
Jerusalem on a donkey. Crowds cheered. People waved palm branches and cried out, Hosanna. But not everyone was happy to see him. With the crush of bodies, the smell of it all, it almost seemed too much. And yet, the air was sweet with cries of his name. And within the chaos, amidst the joyful frenzy, his face was calm. His quiet strength cutting through the noise, and always that knowing spark in his eye, as he rode in on a donkey. As he rode in, there were thousands of men and women who had been changed by him forever.
Hosanna!
There were 12 men who did not fully understand, but loved him anyway.
Woo! Jesus! He's crazy. You're absolutely crazy!
Jesus!
Woo!
There was one man in particular who wanted him dead.